This is Pre-Algebra, Lesson 11-3, using slopes and intercepts. What you're supposed to learn today is to use slopes and intercepts to graph linear equations. You can graph a linear equation easily by finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept of a line is the value of x where the line crosses the x-axis, and that's where y equals 0. The y-intercept of a line is the value of y where the line crosses the y-axis, and you'll find that x equals 0 there. Now here's what that means. This is the x-axis, and where this line crosses the x-axis, that's called the x-intercept. So that's about right there. This is the y-axis, and where our line crosses the y-axis is right here. So that's called the y-intercept. If you were to know both the x-intercept and the y-intercept, you could plot them on the graph and connect them, and then you would have graphed the line, and that's pretty simple to do, a little easier than making a t-table. Example 1 says you're supposed to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept to graph the linear equation. So it says to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of a line that has this equation, and then use the intercepts to graph. Okay, so our equation is 4x minus 3y equals 12. So we want to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. That's all we need to do. So I'm going to take my equation and copy it. If I want to find the x-intercept, that means y is 0, because it's right on the line. Okay, so you plug in 0 for y. 4x minus 3 times 0 equals 12. All I did was plug in 0 for y. And then, of course, that makes this term go away, because 3 times 0 is 0, leaving us with 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by 4, and x equals 3. So our x-intercept is 3. Now, to find the y-intercept, you simply do the same thing, but plug in 0 for x. So we've got our equation, 4x minus 3y equals 12. This time we're going to plug in 0 for x. And again, anything multiplied by 0 is going to be 0, so that goes away. Don't forget about the negative. So we've got negative 3y equals 12. Divide both sides by negative 3, and we've got y equals negative 4. So the y-intercept equals negative 4. Now that you have those two pieces of information, it will be very simple to graph this line. Okay, in the last slide, we determined this information, that the x-intercept is 3 and the y-intercept is negative 4. Now notice that those can also be expressed as ordered pairs. 3, 0 is this point here. 1, 2, over 3, up 0. So you could say x-intercept equals 3 and plot that point, or that this is also a way of expressing the x-intercept, same thing. And the y-intercept is negative 4, which corresponds to this point, over 0 down to negative 4. So once we have plotted the x and the y-intercept, all we need to do is connect them and extend the line, and now you have used the x and y-intercepts to graph a line. Now I want to back up just a little bit and show you a very quick shorthand way of finding the x and y-intercept. This form right here is called standard form, and it's expressed this way: ax plus by equals c. And all that means is some number plus in this case it's minus, so it's plus a negative, some number, y, equals some number. And so this equation is expressed in standard form. When the equation is in standard form, it is very easy to find the intercepts. What I would do is just take my hand and cover this piece up, and it leaves you with negative 3y equals 12. And then that's very easy to solve. Just divide by negative 3y. So that gave us the y-intercept, and to solve for the x-intercept, just cross out the y portion, and that leaves us with 4x equals 12. Just divide both sides by 4. Since you're plugging in zeros, it just causes that term to go away. Here's another problem for you. The equation is 8x minus 6y equals 24. You go ahead and notice, first of all, it is in standard form, so it should be pretty simple to solve for the x and y intercepts, and then use those to graph the line. Turn the pause right now and then turn the tape back on in order to see the solution. We copied our equation. We plugged in 0 for y. That caused this term to drop out, leaving us with 8x equals 24. Divide both sides by 8, and the x-intercept equals 3. Okay, now to find the y-intercept, again, we write the equation. We plug in 0 for x, causing this term to disappear, leaving us with negative 6y equals 24. Divide both sides by negative 6, and our y-intercept equals negative 4. Then you graph that using the intercepts, which again are expressed as ordered pairs here. Go ahead and plot those 2 points and draw the line that connects them.